northeast Nigeria. My name is Umaru and I'm your captain for this show. Not to worry, I'm an old hand who will land safely. Today is a wonderful day, and we're happy to be at Gotel Radio and Television, where we are being hosted by the Managing Director and Mohammed El Yaqub.
It's good to be here.
It's clearly a wonderful day because we're celebrating 2 years of the operation of the Fintiri administration, which is very well known as Fresh Air Administration of Adamawa State of Nigeria. And we're therefore very pleased to have today as guest the Governor of Adamawa State, Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri, to be the guest on this midterm review at the top show. Thank you very much. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, citizens, and I welcome everyone.
We're prepared very well for this show. We would like to take a quick, short break while we take some time out.
We are coming in. 5, 4, 3, 2.
I would like to also let you know that this show is live on Adamawa Broadcasting Corporation and also live online. That is why I'm looking to an international audience. Thank you very much. I'm the captain, I told you, and I want you to relax because I'm an old hand. Timaus Matthias is my name. I've been in this business for over 20 years. I'm not blowing my own trumpet. I just thought I should assure you. Now to you, Your Excellency. We're reviewing in midterm tenure, 4 years. And during this period, you have secured virtually a new name every day. ATM Governor, Mr. Urban Renewal, the Flyover Governor, the Underpass Governor, the Fresh Air Governor, the Narrative Changer. This narrative changer, I got it just now as I was coming in. Now, it is necessary to begin this program by asking Your Excellency, what does it mean to you after 2 years in office and with these accolades coming your way? What is your view of leadership now?
It means a lot to me, and I give glory and thanks to Almighty Allah for giving us the opportunity to go through the thing and think of the governance of Adamawa within the last 2 years. We also give commendation and thanks to our citizens, the good people of Adamawa, for believing in us and giving us the support to see that we go through with them in the state. Like with every government, you have your mission, you have your vision. And we came to the support of the good people of the state. We came prepared, like we always say. So we can change the narratives, the narrative of underdevelopment, the narratives of backwardness in infrastructure, the narratives of underdevelopment in education, which Adamawa is supposed to be first in the northern state of Nigeria, and supposed to be competing favorably with any state in this country. Because if you look around in the past, we have produced a lot of elites. This we came with from the background. And in implementing the 11-point agenda, we found ourselves moving Adamawa and changing the narratives. And the people began to believe in us. I was on this show with you last year, and you're also one of the whalers that think what we're doing was ugly. But today it has become a reality, and people are happy. So I think I justify every night. And I think I should be one of the happiest person in government in this state to be called by all the good names by the good people of the state. And I think some of the ones that you have not mentioned, and which I like most, is the governor of Talakawa. We have tried to ensure that we deploy the small resources of the state to meaningful sectors. And we try to approach the governor and government through multi-sectoral approach so that no one will be left behind and nothing will be left untouched. And today, I want to tell you that we're everywhere. We're in the 226 ward of the state, doing one thing or the other to bring development and government closer together. This is what we've been doing in the last 2 years. And it is our hope and belief that we will do much more better in the next 2 years to come. And I've said, before I leave, I will make Adamawa the dream of any person that will intend to believe in us, intend to believe in this thing, that will believe Adamawa the best state ever. That every citizen should be proud. And I mean it.
Well, Your Excellency, since May 29, 2019, when you assumed the leadership of our state, you have embarked upon, completed, and even commissioned several projects across the state. There have been tremendous changes indeed, and development in infrastructure, health, education, agriculture, human and capacity building as well, and many others. Your Excellency, how are you able to achieve all these giant strides despite security challenges and impact of COVID-19 and the very limited resources that are before you?
I think first as government is for you to have your mission and vision and to also define where you're going. And to know the available resources. I know that there is no resources in Adamawa. Even before I came, I was one of the few that was opportune to get into that office twice by the grace of Almighty Allah on an active capacity. And I seized that opportunity to ensure that I understand the little of governance and the little of Adamawa. So when I came, I ensured that I eliminate all the waste, all the unnecessary things that are required in the bureaucracy of government, so that we can deploy the little that will be available and channel it to the meaningful projects, security, and human development. And I think that is what we're able to do. It's not in my intention to be commissioning project. But I think those that do not believe in the state push me to go and commission projects so that I can open their eyes a little. But going further, I don't think I'll be commissioning. If I thought I'll be commissioning, now I'll be inviting those I swear to be talakouts. I will be inviting the old headmasters, the old nurses that have served in the state, the old teachers in the villages to be commissioning this project so that they will define and tell us the meaning of this project. Yes, we did a lot in the education sector because when we came, even in the UBEC sector, only one trench was accessed. I don't want to be mentioning them. I don't want to be blaming any government again because I'm in charge at the moment. So I should take the blame. I should take the press. I was able, within the last 2 years, to assess about 5 trenches in the UK. And that has given us over 5,000 new and rehabilitated classrooms in the primary sector. That has also attracted the UNICEF to come and partner with us, to give us renovations and building of classrooms in 2 local governments, in 100 schools. You can see what we've been doing in the last 2 years. So if we intend to be commissioning this project, how many years would it take us to be commissioning over 5,000 classrooms, over 100 schools that we attracted through UNICEF to be renovated? That would went a step further to see that there are about 6 local governments that don't even have cottage hospital as we are talking now in the 21st century. We came, good design, good procure, and these projects are going steadily and satisfactorily in these 6 local governments. We further went when the COVID-19 exposed our weakness in the health sector. We saw that huge challenge. We decided and ensure that we expand our 9 general hospitals in the state. In the local government of Umaru, in the local government of Shelley, in the local government of Garden, Mubi, Fufore, and the rest of them. And today I want to tell you very soon, these hospitals will be equipped because we are going into procurement of the hospital equipment so that these hospitals will be well equipped and stand the test of time to face the challenges of the health sector, especially that the COVID-19 has exposed. We'll go further to construct so that we can link the rural areas to the semi-urban areas and the urban areas. Through constructing about 347 kilometers of rural road across our rural communities. We have built through airship brand new 50 primary health care centers across the walls of the state. So this is little of the good things we have been doing to the good people. So why wouldn't we earn a good name by the common man? Our challenges probably will be the oppositions who are very little and very minute. And with time, I think they have started joining, except for a few of them. And I think they are not even an obstacle between us and the common man, between us and development for this state. That is why today you see the opposition in Adamawa try to compare us with Lagos, try to compare us with Kaduna, try to compare us with Kano. And we are not afraid. If you take on the proportion of what comes to Lagos and what comes to Adamawa, I think I will beat my chest to say I am doing better than Lagos.
One can say that proactively. I'm interested in learning some of the ways to handle your critics. And that is it. You've not replied. Even when you called me a whaler, you didn't wave back at me. And if you were to score yourself, I would like to know what kind of marks would you give yourself? First of all, did you find anything here that was a shock to you, that did not meet your expectations when you became governor? You told us you were quite prepared before you came in, but did anything shock you? And if you were to score yourself, what kind of marks?
Yes, really, what shocked me was the elements of the debt I inherited, which became a very huge challenge. And we had to now start rethinking of how to go in between this huge debt, what we promised the people, and here again, we are confronted with COVID-19, which locked down the economy of the whole Nigeria and Adamawa inclusive. But again, because of the good team we have, because of the support of the people, we are still able to see that we squeeze from the little, cut down west, like I continue repeating, to see that we still further deploy these resources into bettering the life of our people. What I have even not mentioned was that we are building one of the biggest estates in the state ever by any government, where we are building 1,000 houses, and we intend to expand it to about 2,000 houses, which will make housing more affordable to our workers. Because part of our priority is to continue to better the life of our workers, not to allow them to end the 35 years of their service without having a home. This is part of the welfare that we're deploying to the workers, aside training them, giving them their promotion as at when due, paying their salary as at when due, and also believing in them that they are the implementers of our policies and programs. So we have to carry them. But apart from that, I think for you to know the intellectual capacity of the people that form this government, were able, for the first time in this country, to come up with a policy of harnessing our agricultural potentials that will give us a huge idea. And on that, we're able to present to the capital market where we'll be accessing 100 billion at 25 million naira each year for the next 4 years. For the first time that the capital market is giving out its money on an agro-based business. And I think this is what all of us in this state should be celebrating. And through this, today, the GDP of this state is 1.7 billion. And with this agro-based business that we tag others, we intend to give to this state, in the next 10 years, about 45 billion naira annual IGR. We intend to raise the GDP of this state to about 1.6 trillion in the next 10 years. We intend to ensure that we clean up, not just settle, to clean up all the debt that was accrued throughout the formation of Adamawa and Bonkola State, which will have freed this present generation of our youths. How do you think when we start bequeathing this debt, huge debt, to the next generation? If we move on like this, believe me or not, the government will come to a standstill. And in fact, I was wondering, the way the government that we inherited was going, if God has not given the good people of this state the wisdom to see that they get them out, this government will have come to a standstill.
But when I listen to you, I admit that you have a wonderful team. The advice you're getting is quite sound, and especially when you look at the kind of GDP that you're expecting. But people are worried that already Adamawa is heavily indebted. You admit it yourself, and yet you are accessing further bond from the capital market, and people don't understand how, with the debt profile that we have, you're getting another loan or a bond, and you still say that you want to clean up the old debt.
I think you stand to be corrected. Not that people don't know. They know and they believe, the good ones. For those who never trust you, who don't believe in you, who think they should be the one to continue in the bad way, will never believe. And I want to tell you that this bond we are taking in the capital market is not tied to our fact. It's not tied to our fact. It's tied to the agro-based business, and which the hub is starting. And I want to tell you, Lagos State makes over 40 billion naira annually on cows that leave Adamawa to Lagos. Because for every cow that you slaughter in the abattoir, you pay 10,000 naira. And this is the opportunity we want to take care. And I want to tell you, this is on the aggregate. We have not gone into the processing. By the time that we go into the processing, it is likely that we may be making 100 billion annually as IGR in this thing. So the bond we are taking is tied to this agri business, which we have already sourced for off-takers. So what we will be paying to the capital market is the IGR that we will be raising from this agro-based business.
We'll take a short break now, Your Excellency, and when we come back, we'd like to delve more into this shock that you're giving us. I asked for what shocked you. You've given me what shocked us. We're taking this break. In just a moment, we'll be back again with His Excellency, Governor Ahmadu.
Okay.
Come again?
You need water, you need water. You need this water.
Are you sure?
I don't know. If I was fasting,
People like you should be
I see that I will be fine.
We are coming in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back here to Hotel, Radio and Television and Adamawa Broadcasting Corporation. And this is a midterm review of Governor Ahmadu Fintiri's tenure as Governor of Adamawa State. And with me, anchoring this program is Mohammed Eliapo. Your Excellency, sir, we're talking about the one issue. It's going to be very difficult to understand how you can harness agriculture to pay for the kind of financial exposure you're giving to the other
It has been harnessed already. It is the potential that is born all over Adamawa, but because of the laziness and the intellectual incapacity of, let me say, the past administration, they were unable to see this goal that abounds everywhere in the agricultural sector. We brought in consultants in conjunction with the various ministries that are concerned to drive this process. And they were able to give us this piece, and we analyzed it, and we discovered there is huge potential. And the capital market also believed in us. Nobody will give you, even Lagos or Port Harcourt or Delta that has oil money. Capital market cannot give them 100 billion naira bond today, except for what they believe. Because in this COVID period, nobody would want to lose his money. But for them to even believe in us, I think we deserve an accolade by every assembly citizens of this state. Now, this agro business, the off-takers will take 27 million cows annually. It's their money. It is out of what they take that they will pay taxes, and in turn from the taxes that we generate from others, not from the usual IGR that we have already improved on in the state. This is a separate IGR that will come from this agro business that has already been aggregated.
So where are you getting the cows from? Because the herder has lost its stock. Animal husbandry is in peril. Insecurity has affected the source of your homes.
The cows are here, and Adamawa is the hub of cattle today in Nigeria. And we have discovered that. We have made the studies of 1 year, 6 months only, and it has been flowing. There is no ambiguity in the field. So we are taking 27 million cows, and that is just the 70% of it. The 30% is still left in the open market for people to come and source and take. So as I was saying, it is the taxes that will be paid on these 27 million cows, which if this is slaughtered in Lagos, it will give them 27 billion. So it is on this that we will take our taxes, and it's on this that we will use some fraction of it to defray the bond and to deploy the balance into projects. It will not stop there. We are taking from cereals, we are taking from maize, we are taking from pigs, we are taking from so many other areas in the agro business. And this, in the first year, it will give us 4 billion naira idea. By the 10th year, we'll have moved to 45 billion. The benefit here is it will create 750,000 employment for the youth. Direct. It will create 1.5 million indirect jobs for the youth. It will help us to clear the 142 billion naira that we inherited. It will help us to clear the pensioners' debt, aside the employment opportunity that it will create. Now, the processing aspect of the agro business by our studies was to come in the next 2 years. But because of the huge potentials, we are already being confronted at the moment with those that are coming from the processing. And it will surprise you that Qatar Foundation is one of them. They are already here. We are processing to give them a land for them to build a modern abattoir where they will be slaughtering 2,000 cows every day. You can imagine the kind of employment it will create. You can imagine the market it will give to the good people of this state.
Your Excellency, delving away from that, let's talk about infrastructure. What informed your decision to construct flyovers in the state, despite the criticisms and challenges faced? And what would you tell critics of that innovation?
I think we have outlived the level and the thinking of our critics. We are moving Adamawa into the next level. And we're trying to expand and open up the infrastructure of this state so that we can attract investors like what we have started. BOA is here already. Qatar Foundation is here. The Israelis are already approaching us to come and have a tomato market in Shellen, Numan, and them services, and for them to open up a tomato factory. So if we don't open up our infrastructure, especially in the cities, the villages, and the semi-urban areas, how do we attract these investors? Already, we are suffering the menace of insecurity in the town because of the deplorable nature and the narrow gauge of our roads. The traffic doesn't flow the way it should. So, the Adamawa people, I told you at the beginning, believed in us. They did not believe in us to come and continue with business as usual. They believed in us because they know we can always give them something new, something different, something they would be happy with. And if they had wanted us to continue with business, maybe they wouldn't have even changed the government that just spent 4 years. So we came to give them a government and a development that will last forever. We need to give and build Adamawa of tomorrow and next tomorrow. Today, if you go to Dubai, or let me say Dubai is even a newer city. If you go to London and Paris, Do you ask or remember which government built the good roads, build the rail system, build the good universities that you see in these big cities in America? You don't. And that is what we intend to give to this thing. Every regime comes and goes and leave us the way we are. Today we have started giving a good. Today we have initiated how to raise an idea through the others, through the agro-based business, that will clear all these calamities that have been created in the past, like I said. These are all building the future. And when we are living, just like the oil that was discovered in the Niger Delta, those that discovered the oil did not close it when they were living. So we are going to bequeath these aggregates and these ideas to the next generation of government that will come. And I think that is what always makes me happy. You see me smiling all the day. It is not just for nothing, it's because we are moving and we are moving well.
Your Excellency, I would like to take you back on this small matter of agricultural business, specifically cattle. Because I place myself in the position of a local herder who has lost his herd. How are you going to help him restore his herd and get back into business? While you're thinking of this, consider also the local farmer who has lost his farm holdings. What kind of restoration are you going to bring to these two warring communities? And I continue to ask, sir, are you going to affect consciously grazing of cattle? Are you going to ban open grazing, or are you going to develop into it gradually?
Through our new security architecture, I think we're able to bring sanity to this thing. And we're able to build a very good relationship between farmers and herders today in Adamawa. And a case study of it is in the Umaru Federation. Today, even those that were displaced some years back, the herders, they have started coming back. And they have started coming back with a new way of coexisting with the farmers. And there is a harmonious relationship all over going in this state, even among tribes, even among religions. This is the area we have improved on. Through good governance, through purposeful leadership, and through trustworthiness with the state. That is one. The cattle business we are talking about here is not only the cattle that comes from Adamawa. We are talking of cattle that come from about 5 neighboring countries. But Adamawa is the hub. Adamawa is the roots through which they come in. Mubi, Urocheki, Song, Ganye, and the rest of them on the northern belt are the markets that we are concentrating on. We haven't even touched and explored the local cattle that we are growing and breeding in and within the state. We are talking about cattle that come from Niger, from Chad, from even Congo, that comes to us because there is huge market here in the whole world. Nigeria is the country that has the most, let's say, the most expensive meat. Anywhere you go in the world, meats are very cheap. And within the Umaru Federation, Tubichika and the rest of the local government, the local people that comes to buy ordinary pig. I was arguing this morning with somebody. He thought the pigs are not even much in number. But we discovered through the study, people buy 7 million pigs in this state annually. So you can see huge potential that people have ignored. We have turned our focus to the monthly allocation that comes from Abuja. Every government keeps come and cross her legs, cross her fingers, and wait until there is an allocation from Abuja
I
before,
feel like clapping for you.
yeah, before they can move. But we intend to shift from that. We intend to handle our capital and recurrent expenditure through IGR. Mr. Timayas, with due respect, even when we came, as at the moment, we were able to raise the IGR. There is no loan that we have taken and gotten approval from the House of Assembly that is not tagged to a way that we will pay it back. We never intend to leave this state in a debt. Because the way we came, I don't think, I have the intention, and anybody that works with me, to abuse the trust that we have with the students of Adamawa State.
As Your Excellency, the school feeding program, free education and payment of WAEC and NECO, provision of fertilizer and other farming implements by your administration has been ongoing. Even your critics can testify to that. Are they sustainable?
Very well. Especially that every day we are discovering new sources of revenue. Even when we are depending solely on the allocation from the Federation, we are able to keep this program. How much more now that we are discovering several sources of IGRs that will come. I think we will even start feeding them far much better, just the way when you went to school, that you were fed on chicken and eggs, plantain and oranges.
Yes.
I think very soon, when our adults program come on stream, we have to deploy enough of it to see that we have and feed our children, so that we will be sure, as when we are leaving, that we have really prepared the next generation of leaders in this state. Yes, when we came, there is a report that has adjudged Adamawa to be one of the poorest states in Nigeria. And we look at it, who are the ones suffering from this poor nature of the state, which was also bequeathed on them by the maladministration of the government that we took over. Why did I say so? States like Adamawa cannot survive if you don't pay salary. States like Adamawa cannot survive if you don't patronize local contractors. And of course, if you don't do all this, the resultant consequences will be that the people and the state will be more poorer. And that informed our decision to be, all the time, we keep on lubricating the economy. And lubricating the economy does not mean that you should be dishing out free money. Even the richest nation, even the richest state don't dish out money for free. But you have to pump in money into the economy deliberately through programs and policies, through development.
We will take a
So-
little break, Your Excellency, so that Hotel can answer them.
We'll be back shortly.
Now, this-
Stand by, stand by, please stand by. Please stand by. Back. 5, 4, 3, 2.
You're on to Gotel Radio and Television and also on Adamawa Broadcasting Corporation with a full 1 hour with Boman Talakawa, like I say, he likes that name. Now, Yakub, I think this next opportunity is yours.
Yeah, certainly. What I want to find out, Your Excellency, what is your view on the service? Do you see the establishment as a solution to our worsening state of power?
State police.
State police. What is your view about that?
Yes, but before I go into that, there's a point I have not finished. You know, I was saying the poorer nature of the state, and which we have to now bring out a deliberate policy and program to see that we bring out our people out of poverty, and which inform our prompt and timely payment of salaries as at when due, pay workers welfare. We have to take over the payment of school fees, school feeding, payment of well, payment of liquor, give out scholarship to the younger ones, so that we can help their children who are poorer to now resuscitate and concentrate on their farming and other activities, so that the economy can grow. And 2 years down the line, we'll be happy that if you go to the street of Jamaica, if you go to our small urban centers, if you go to the rural communities, you see a lot of activities now coming up because we have taken off some burden. If you look at our public schools, it has doubled. When we came and started this program last year, we paid 662 million naira for this wire and network. This year, we are paying over 1 billion naira. That is to tell you that people have moved from a private school to public schools, and people are living in the program. And that has also taken off the poverty nature of the state. The economy is well lubricated today. Our local contractors have been patronized. All the hospitals we are building, all the electrification we are doing, all the hospitals we are building, all the primary schools and the secondary schools we are renovating are being handled by local contractors. And that means the economy is lubricated, the income is here, people are better, people are enjoying, and the economy is moving. So going back to the state police, yes, I believe in the state police, but I'm afraid for those that cannot do the same way the Adamawa is doing, if you cannot raise your IGR, if you cannot explore other potentials that you have so that you can have an additional income into your state, if you only rely on the federation allocation, then there's a problem. Then danger awaits you. Because in more instances, some states don't pay salary. If you cannot pay workers' salary, and they will only demonstrate because they don't have arms. If you have a state police and you don't pay them salary, well, they've been trained on arms, they have arms, what happened? This is just my fear. But aside that, if you can raise your idea, you have enough resources. I think like anywhere in the world, there's nothing to be afraid of.
If I understand you very well, Your Excellency, the answer is the diversification of the economy.
Yeah, you need to diversify your economy. You need to be self-reliant. You need to be dependent on local sources for you to have this additional expenditure. Because running a state police is going to be very expensive. It will not be the same way like the way you run the civil service. But then is the alternative, because the federal government are not recruiting. At the moment, you see that for the past 2 years, we cannot even recruit police because the federal government are against themselves. The Nigerian police and the Nigerian Police Service Commission are daggers on as to who has the right, who has the power to recruit the Nigerian police. So the only way out is to allow the state to have their own, so that we can man the security and improve on the security architecture of our various states. But even as it is now, indirectly we are running the state police. Because the hunters, the capital plateau, the virus with the civilian JTF, we call it, the states are responsible for kitting them. The states are responsible for paying their stipend. The states are responsible in most cases in even putting them on monthly allowances and salaries. So I think it's not different. But the only thing I don't like about it is that some people, some criminals still find their way into the system. They will go and pay and register as members, go and buy, then they have the license and the opportunity to buy dead guns, which is not licensed, and they go about committing their various forms of crimes. And that is why I have formed a committee to ensure that the entire hunters and civilian JTF in this state are streamlined. They are disbanded, they will be recruited, there will be a kind of serious security checks on them, so that we must trust their character, we must know their link to the community where they come from, and we must know as to where their source of arms and ammunition are, even when government are helping them to source for all these instruments to fight crime.
Thank you, Excellency. I know tomorrow's the time, so over the caption of the program. But let me just give out this message. Before you came in, the community of Bachapuri were here. They came to Gota and they brought a message that anytime you are done with this road, Your Excellency, they are pleading that it should be named Fintiri Road.
You were given, after the second anniversary, we will soon be going out to launch the new phase of our developmental program. Well, the first one is being completed, some are various stages of being at various stages of completion. And so, like I said, in the next 2 years, we'll do far much better than what we did in the past. Because even your son to come will be better than the 2 years that we have served. Without asking for it, we have already designed and concluded on launching this road that pass in front of Gotel, ATV, Gotel, down to the NYSA camp, and one critical road in Venezuela. This is the two packages that we intend to give the people of Gire local government, aside from other rural roads, hospitals that we are doing for them, and their schools that are coming up. If you go around Adamawa, you see all our schools are new now, and teaching and instructional materials are provided all. So, but to name it after me, I think continuously I will continue to decline. I don't want to judge myself and reward myself. I would want any government that will come after me, if they are serious and sincere, let them judge me and say, yes, we had a leader who did very well for this state, and to whom we are pleased with. So we name so road after him. That is what I want. But not to be singing my praises, not to be naming streets after me.
Your Excellency, even your critics, what do you feel about that?
Well, if they mean well,
Yes.
fine. But whether you like it or you don't like it, if you are talking of good governance, if you are talking about purposeful and seriousness on leadership and good governance, you have to press this government. It is not about Fintiri. It is about the team. It is about the people of the state. You have to go, you have to believe in what the people believe in, if you are serious. If you have been rejected, it's because there are several things that you have not done that are not good. And if you see the masses hailing and praising somebody, it means there's a lot more that they are doing that is bettering his life, that is making him happy. So it is not a wish or the making of the critics to support us or to like us. They just have to do it because they also believe in the good things we are doing.
Your Excellency, I would like us in this program to take advantage of your experience having been the speaker to the Adamawa State House of Assembly. Now that the constitutional debate is on as to what we need to do to tinker with the Nigerian Constitution. I don't know if you're watching it, but from what I see, it would seem to me that the Nigerian Constitution has failed to satisfy anybody. What are your views on this?
Well, I think the Constitution, the way it is, should be allowed to continue well we tried it. If you look at it, more than 70% of the Constitution have not even been put to use. We have not even tried it. To all good intention to the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, he is the only one that have even put the 40% of the Constitution that were part of our Constitution that we have tried, that have tested it by over 80%. Because he is the only one that have gone to court several times to test part of the Constitution, whether it works, whether it suits our purpose or not. So why do you want to tinker or change anything that you have not even tested it? To me, the only thing lacking today in that Constitution is giving the local government autonomy so that their resources can come directly from the Federation account directly to their account. And I'm not against that. And I will continue to advocate for that.
But
because I believe in separation of power. And probably because of my background as a legislator.
can we devolve the power with the current type of constitution, the bicameral legislature, or do we need to go back to the old unicameral?
I think there's nothing wrong with what we are practicing today, like I said. Let us continue. We are always in a hurry in this country. Let us be putting some of the part of the Constitution to test. How do you start changing what you have not even tested? Try to include what is not there and the people are crying for it. And today what people are crying for in this country is for the local government to have an autonomy. Why are we against that?
What about resource control?
Resource control, I don't know what that means. But if you are practicing federation, that means everything should belong to all of us. Wherever the source of the source comes from, everything should belong to all of us. Why is resource control not being advocated to in America or UK, in France, or in any of the developed nations? Maybe because we lack good leadership. We've not been able to harness and bring our people together. So everybody is agitating and crying individually. Because to whom much is given, much is expected. If I'm contributing more enough to the federation account, so I should be trusted, I should be believed in. An appointment should be given evenly. But I think these things are lacking. And you cannot be flogging somebody and asking not to cry. So we should change our ways of doing things. But the Constitution is not a problem.
As we reflected on this show, when I realized that I was going to be talking to you on your 2 years in office, I asked a few questions to different interest groups. And I would like to take into consideration what a young man told me. He said he would like to know, if not even one, it's a group of them, what are the values that you cherish as a person? They want to know what values Fintiri cherishes as a person. And if you were to choose, what is your greatest value?
My greatest value and what I cherish is respect for the people. Good governance.
Sound quite right.
Yep. Your Excellency, at this moment, let me congratulate you for the 2 years in office and for the tremendous achievements that you are congratulations for the team. Okay, that's an answer.
I would also like to add my own congratulations. I have started with my doubts on you, and I am not ashamed to say that I do believe that you mean quite a lot for Adamawa State. And how can I argue? Because what you have done is there for everybody to see. I don't think that we've seen this kind of galloping in terms of urban changes, development of infrastructure, and addressing all the necessary problems that need to be addressed, particularly the payment of staff salaries, the payment of school fees for children, payment settlement of work fees, and addressing our needs in health. We must agree that it's been a wonderfully spent 2 years in office. We wish you the best in the coming 2 years.
Thank you. And I think Elder Matthias, for your belief in this government is reassurance that there is a good direction for the good people of this state in the coming years. Because for people of intellectual capacity, critics like you, to believe in something, I think is wonderful. Thank you for that recommendation. And I think we'll work together and all of us for the good people of this state. Thank you.
We'll be looking forward to hosting you. Thank you for hosting me.
I believe that you can judge for yourself from all that His Excellency, the Governor of Adamawa State, Ahmadu Fintiri, has said in defense of his 2 years in office. You've seen it in vision in the small clips that Kotal has put together to confirm that what he's talking about is not just audio, but also video. I want to thank you for the opportunity given to me to anchor this program. It's a great opportunity that I don't take lightly. Thank you very much, Yakub, my colleague and Managing Director of Kotal. And thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Matthias. Thank you.
Goodbye.